Meggin Anderson, and I am so excited to bring you some really awesome information today. So, I created the Healthy CEO episodes in order to help you find your go between having a career, being a mom, and juggling all the things. Back in the day, when I first had kids, I was simultaneously running our own brick and mortar commercial business. And I always felt like there was this enormous pressure to choose between being a mom or being a career person, a business owner, an entrepreneur. And there was no go between. It was either or because you were a bad mom if you were working, and you were a bad CEO if you weren't at your job and you were spending all your time with your kids, right? Those perceived thoughts always sneak in, right? Those stories that we tell ourselves that are not true. So long story short, found myself in a place where I needed to do something different, where I needed to pivot. And when I discovered that I could create my own online health and fitness business from home and be the CEO and be the mom and do all the things, I was all in from the get go. Super excited to share with you how I went from a stressed out, burnt out working mom to a excited, motivated, healthy CEO in just 5 steps today. So, it gives me all the goosies to think about how far I've come in my journey. And then just such a privilege to be able to teach other women how they can have the same, right? I will say that 9 times out of 10, I'm hearing from so many moms out there that they don't have enough time, right? Or they feel guilty for sacrificing the time that they do have to put into themselves, right? But I'm here to tell you and share with you that it does not have to be hard, right? It does not have to be giving up one thing in order to have another. You don't have to sacrifice A, B, and C over here in order to have D, E, and F over here. Right. So today I want to kind of walk you through some simple steps. And then I've got a really fun bonus for you to take home with you at the end. So make sure that as you're listening, you go to the show notes and you look at the links that are down there so that you can grab the freebies and all the really great stuff that I have in store for you if you listen all the way to the end today. Okay, so we are going into the time of year. At the time I'm recording this, it is about almost middle of August. So we are starting to hear and talk about back to school events, sports, depending on what age group your children are in. I've got teenagers, I've got 12, 15, and almost 18. So they're involved in sports and after school activities, working, driving, and all of these things. And so we start to all of a sudden put this pressure on ourselves that there is this time of year is going to be stressful. We got to go back to school shopping. We got to get the school supplies and all the things in line, right? But I'm here to share with you that it does not have to be that way. First and foremost, before you start to implement any sort of change or any kind of thing that you want to, make different in your life, it has to start with your mindset. Those thoughts and those behaviors are going to be driven by those thoughts. So the very first thing that you have to do is like get your head on straight, right? And basically be thinking about that mindset. I can do this. There is a way for me to do this. And maybe it doesn't look like it's something simple right now, but everything is figure outable. So if you have that growth mindset, if you have that open minded mindset that there is a way to get to the place where you want to go, then you'll get there, right? Nobody says it has to happen overnight. Nobody says it even has to have happen in a week, right? But if there is your thoughts are telling you that this is something that you want, then you can change that, right? It's like if you don't like it, change the channel. If you don't like the comment, just swipe, right? And so let's talk about how we can get started in doing and implementing this for this time of year to set ourselves up for success. Because I'm going to also give you a little secret, a little inside tip that if you can nail some of this stuff down now, then going into the holiday season is going to be a piece of cake. It's going to be a cakewalk for you if you can put these things in place for you before you get to that place, right? Because And I talked about this, I think, on a last episode, that it's not like we don't know this stuff is happening. It's not like we don't know the school year is coming. It's not like we don't know that the end of the year is coming and Christmas and all the things that go along with that, right? So the more that we can sort of like prepare ourselves, have that mindset in place, and create that sort of force field, right? That's going to better help us to be able to approach and be a part and also enjoy this time of year, right? Because it goes by so fast. I'm also seeing at the same time, right? Don't blink. They're growing up, right? I went on a college tour this week. My kid is going to be a senior and going to be going off to college. Like, it goes by so fast, right? So we also, as moms, we need to enjoy and be present in all of those moments. I made that mistake in the very beginning. As I mentioned, we had our brick and mortar business when my first kid we started in 2000. And so I had all three children. By 2013 was when I decided to make the pivot, when I decided going into my 40s that I wanted my life to be different, you guys, right? So I had three little kids by 2013, and thinking, oh my gosh, I've missed like this whole beginning because they were in daycare all day, right? Okay. So the number one thing that I want you guys to be thinking about is, again, this time of year does not have to be stressful, right? I really want for you to be able to work smarter and not harder, right? We make it so hard for ourselves. We overcomplicate all of the things, and it doesn't have to be that way, right? So I'm hoping today that I can give you these steps, these things to implement so that you can prepare yourself and get ready this month, so that the fall is going to be awesome and you're going to be excited and embracing all the things, but also taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, because if there's no you, then there's no anything else, right? Think about that example that I always give you about traveling on the airplane and the oxygen mask. If you don't put the oxygen mask on yourself first, you can't help anybody else with their oxygen mask. Okay? Remember that. Okay, so number one thing I want you to do is look at your routines, your morning routine and your nighttime routine. How is that structured? Okay, so before my life now, when I was running our family business, doing all the things, I was up at the crack of dawn and, you know, burning the candle at both ends, right? The internet was not quite what it was back then. However, I was also bringing my work home. I would get up at the crack of dawn. Granted, I was doing my workouts way back then, just because that was already a part of my life before I even had kids. So I was doing my workouts at home. I would do those, jump in the shower, get kids ready, off to daycare, like shovel food on. I would literally, you guys, this sounds terrible, I would strap the kids in the car and come back into the kitchen and breathe before I started my day. I remember thinking, how do people do this? Like, struggling with them, they're crying to like stuck them in this car seats. I just remember coming back into the kitchen in the morning, deep breath in, and go out for my day. That's how crazy it was, right? I would go off, drop in the daycare, and like run off to all my appointments, do the things all day long, run our business, do the sales on the road, all the things, come back at the end of the day and grab them from daycare, bath, dinner, bedtime, and then like jump back into some of the things and then start the whole process over again. Like, there was no downtime, right? Yes, I had my only me time in the morning were those workouts, but there was nothing else, right? I didn't read. I didn't do any of the things that I do today. And it was like chaos happening to me all at once, and then I just did that perpetually, and it was like there was no, how do you get off the hamster wheel thought mentality, right? So I want you to really be thinking about your routine. Okay, what does it look like now, and then what do you want that to look like? What, like, um envision like a perfect morning, right? Number two would be, we're going to get into that for number two, is I want to help you to make time, right? So we get into this time blocking exercise, and I'll actually be able to dive into this a little bit more with you guys. I'm getting ready to host a free event next week. So I want to make sure that you're also in the know about that. It's called the Smart Start Group, and it's going to be a whole week long event. It's a workshop, a back to school workshop, and an open house. And I'm going to be giving you all the goods. Okay. So time blocking is a huge thing that I do. This is number two, right? So you're literally going to get out a piece of paper and you're going to write all the hours of the day, right? From like, I don't know, 5, 6 a.m. all the way to 10. And I want you to plug in like when you're working, when you're sleeping, when you're eating, like all the things in your day, right? How does your day lay out? What does that look like right now? Okay. What are the hours that you're sleeping? What are the hours that you're awake? Show kind of write that all down. The visual is something that really helps you to kind of open your eyes to, oh, I didn't realize that I'm wasting time in this spot or I'm wasting time in that spot, right? And so you can look and visualize in a perfect world scenario, what would that look like for you? How would that change? And what are the steps that you can take in order to shuffle some things around and make those changes, right? And again, we're going to dive into that so much deeper inside of my group next week, but I want you to be thinking about time blocking, what that looks like for you. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, number three step is my morning routine. This is the game changer. This is the thing that sets me up for success. It helps me to take on the busiest days. It helps me reset my body, reset my brain. I have my clothes all laid out the night before. I get up so lately this week it's been a little bit later, but normally during the school year, it's about 4:45, 5 o'clock in order to get a jump before the school day starts because I know that I need this time. I know that this is more crucial to me than anything else. The secret also is that at the end of the day, I can wind down a little bit early and spend my nights with my family, right? So I think about it in that respect. Yes, I'm up early, but the end of the day feels so much better, right? So, morning routine, get up, have my morning pre workout. While I'm sipping on that, I'm doing my daily devotions, my personal development, my prayers, journaling. Just depending on what I'm into at the time, is what I'm reading. I spend about 45 minutes on there, and then I jump right down into my gym and go into my workout. So I move my body anywhere from 30 minutes to 40, 45 minutes is typically my time frame during the school year. I just need to make sure that I'm back upstairs about 7 so that I can get the lunches and everything ready and help them get out the door, whether I'm driving or taking or whatever. And then the day can start, right? So just kind of creating that force field around me. Like I know then that the day can throw all the crap at me that it wants to. And I've got this force field created that I feel amazing, that I've moved my body, those endorphins, right? I'm excited about the day because I've read or done something or prayed about something that was important. And I think about the stuff that I get to do with my work when I journal. And I think about how grateful I am to live in my forever home with the lake and all the things here, right? So setting yourself up, your mindset, we talked about that growth mindset, setting those thought processes up so that your behaviors follow suit, right? Your behaviors follow your thoughts, your actions follow what you're thinking, right? If you're grouchy and you're irritable and you're not in a good mood, how does that translate to your family or your work or whatever else you're trying to accomplish, right? I can't do it. It's too hard. I'm tired. I'm this. I am not enough. All of those things that stop us in our tracks from being our best self. But stop that right now, right? Stop that right now. Okay, AM routine. And also, I've got some more tips I'm going to dive into next week too. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware about this Smart Start group, right? So I'm going to take a deeper dive with you and give you tangible resources for you to take and examples to give you on personal development, what that can look like. And it's just going to be a really incredible week for us. Okay. So number 4 is scheduling my joy, my family time, days off and my friends. And this kind of works with the time blocking. Like I want you to see that time blocking exercise. But when you go ahead and you create a plan every single week for your life, then you're feeling like you're in control, right? Not the days are controlling you. You're controlling the days, right? And first and foremost is to schedule family time, you time with your family, whatever that looks like for you. Walks with the dogs, walk with your husband, date nights, vacations, girls' nights, whatever that looks like, schedule that stuff first. It goes on your calendar, and then all the things filter in around, right? Because this stuff is important, right? We need to feel that joy in our life. And if we are working, kids, all the things all the time, we're depleted, right? Our mindset, of course, is going to be shot. I'm tired. I'm all the things, right? So number 4 is scheduling that joy. Like I always make time. Like I said, by the end of the day, 3 or 4 o'clock when school's over, I'm getting excited about some sporting event that's coming up after school during the school year. And I'm getting and looking forward to family dinner time together because it's fleeting. They're going to be grown up. They're going to be gone, right? So that is my family time with those people that I love, right? Okay, number 5 is nutrition. Okay. I'm fueling my body for my goals. I'm fueling my body to give me energy. I'm not dieting. I'm not restricting myself because that's what makes me grouchy. I think about my life before. Remember, I said I gave big sigh of relief in the kitchen and was like drinking diet cokes. That was my food. Like I did not eat, and so of course I was irritable. Of course I was like angry and not happy with myself because I was trying to lose the baby weight and I was trying to do all these things at once, and just that feeling, right? It all like comes back to me, right? So we're not dieting, we're having balanced meals, nutrition, um and thinking about the different foods that are going to work well for you and your goals and your activities, and more of that, right? 9 times out of 10, more than that, 10 times out of 10, my moms are not eating enough food. My moms are not eating enough protein. They are not paying attention to any of it and thinking, oh, I eat healthy. Oh, I eat a balance. And they're not. They're not. Start tracking that. Start really looking at what you're eating. Are Cheez Its fueling your body? Are chips? How about all the wine, right? I feel you, right? But it's not about giving that stuff up. It's finding that balance and putting it all together so that we live that healthy, happy, healthy lifestyle. Okay, so we are taking a deeper dive in the Smart Start group next week. I have a 20-page Smart Start guide full of my favorite checklists, my planners, my schedules. I have templates for you guys. I have meal plans. I have lazy lunchbox recipes. I have a ton of stuff, including my magic morning routine, meal plans, meal plans, and a ton of self care goodies that I'm giving to you all next week, right? So you're going to get me, I'm going to come in, I'm going to coach you through and guide you through all of the things. I'm going to give you all the resources. I'm going to give you sample workouts to do, the ones that even I do, ones that you can do if you're trying to rebuild strength, rebuild your core. I've got so many awesome goodies to share with you, okay? So I'm going to leave the link below. I would love you to join our free Smart Start group next week. It is a 5-day workshop and we are going to be covering all the things. And I'm going to give you the most incredibly fantastic jumpstart into the school year and get your back to school season the best it has ever been. Ever. Okay. I'm so excited to work with you guys. I cannot wait to see you in the group. If you found these tips helpful, I would love your comments, your suggestions, your thoughts. Look at the links below. I'm looking forward to see you in the group. And if you have any questions at all, come find me. I'm here. Questions are free. Super excited to get you on the right path this fall and going into the holiday season and beyond. So click that link, join the group. Oh, and if you have a friend or family member that you think like a buddy or a bestie that you want to do this with, send the link to them too. The more the merrier. This is for anyone that is just looking to make a big change and just have a great jump start to the back to school season. Okay, you guys, I will see you in the group. Thank you so much.